6:10 tonight, we heard from Democrat Mike Levin, trying to replace the retiring Darrell Issa in the 49th Congressional District. Also running for that seat is Republican Diane Harkey, a former state assembly member who currently serves on the California Board of Equalization. She was endorsed by Issa right after he announced he would not seek re-election after 18 years.
Dysfunction in D.C. has to end. I've worked across the aisle. I've been able to get things done for California and for my district, and I am the only candidate with any experience that will be able to hit the ground running for them on areas of immigration reform, which is so important right now, and ensuring that we keep the tax code and ensuring that we have public safety, border security. All of that is so important right now, and it's important that we keep the majority in Congress so that we can further what the Congress started. It's a 2-year start, and I want to go back and hit the taxes again, be sure that we've got that secured. Health care is going to be really important. That's coming along. There were some changes made. I want to be sure that people are covered for pre-existing conditions, comfortably covered, and that we don't do Medicaid for all. My opponent's doing Medicaid for all and open borders and sanctuary state, all of which really harms our district, harms our people, and does not help our business environment.
Even though the district straddles both Orange and San Diego counties, here in San Diego we are almost ground zero for the border debate. And so if elected, how does that impact San Diego here, and what would you do when it comes to the issue?
It is ground zero. We're at the border, and quite honestly, we cannot have 7,000 people. It's so sad that these people were turned loose like they were to walk for miles, thousands of miles, and then now they're picking up more people along the way. There's going to be sex trafficking, human trafficking. It's going to be a terrible experience for a lot of the people trying to come north. And to have everybody just hit the border, we do need border security. There is no doubt we need that. We have to have more wall and just a deterrent so that it keeps people from coming. I don't know how we're going to handle that when they hit the border. It's a human tragedy, and it's also extremely important that our nation be able to enforce immigration laws, which is why the Congress had a couple bills this last year. Neither one of them passed because some of the Republicans didn't want to get on some of them, and quite honestly, they're very comprehensive. They hit all of President Trump's point. It had absolutely no input from Democrats because they chose not to engage. Had they engaged, we could have gotten that passed, and we could have prevented what we're currently seeing at the border. We need immigration reform. It's very important that we take care of those who need to be here, those that want to come to work and go back and forth, as well as those that have been here for a long period of time, agricultural workers and whatnot. We have to have strong border security.
For voters out there who may not know what the Board of Equalization is or what it does, a signature part of your campaign has been the tax reform that you talked about at the beginning here.
I've been immersed in taxes for the last 4 years, and I understand quite a bit about it and what businesses out here need. I've done regulatory reforms with regard to tax policy. I've also implemented lower tax policies from the Board of Equalization. The board would implement the policies that the legislature passed, but there was flexibility into how they could be implemented. And we were trying to help people stay alive and stay in business, and we also tried to update regulations that no longer followed the technology, such as the biotech, biomed. The technology is changing so rapidly that the tax code was archaic in comparison. So, you have to change the regs, and you have to make it easy for people to comply and easy for businesses to comply and give them the breaks that they need when the technology changes, such as newspapers going from paper to being online. Well, they were being audited as if they're all paper still, so we changed that reg to give them a rebuttable presumption. There's all sorts of things that you can do to make business easier through a regulatory process that doesn't require legislation. It's just a rewrite of the regs, and that is really important to do. And I'll be able to do that. I would love to have still an additional $10,000 for a property tax deduction, at least for California, because our homes are high-priced, but our Prop 13 keeps our taxes low, and I think there needs to be a benefit for home ownership here in California. So that's one tweak I'd like to make. I'd like to make the other items that were just temporary for the individuals, like to make those permanent. That's a scoring issue, but I think that's all underway.
That's Republican Diane Harkey, who's running for Congress. You're in the 49th District. She's been endorsed by the retiring Darrell Issa as she runs against Democrat Mike Levin. If you missed both these interviews, we'll play them again for you 12:30 tomorrow right here on KOGO. And we'll have full coverage on election nights. Our election results will be a week from Tuesday. We'll broadcast live from Golden Hall in downtown San Diego coming up on November 6th.